Okay, I have actually gone in and stretched it a second time. So my dough has um, been stretched twice and sat for two 45-minute time periods. And now it's time to divide it up and put it in some sort of a shape so that it can start to rise in the form. So I have a piece of canvas. I actually bought it at an art supply store, but you could use a tea towel, something smooth. And I have an old tea strainer that I've put flour in, and so what it does is if I put flour in there, it's a nice way for me to spread flour sort of evenly all over this canvas. And I did use that whole thing. I'll get a little bit more. And you want this to be fairly floured because you're going to, I call pleat it. I'm going to make pleats, and each little baguette will be in its own little area. So that's sort of all ready to go. Might be a little bit bigger than I need. I'll just get that out of the way. Now I'm going to put a little bit of flour on the board. A little bit of flour on my hands. And we'll dump this dough out. There we go. And the instructions say to divide it into 3 or 4, depending on how big a loaf you want. I usually divide it in 4, and then I can give more away. So I'm going to get my scraper. And first I'll cut it in half, and then I'll cut it in half again. So I've got 4 relatively even pieces. And again, I'm going to put a little bit of dough down here, and they want you to flatten this out to a rectangular shape. And I'm just kind of pulling it and stretching it. Nothing fancy. Maybe 6-7 inches long in sort of rectangular shape. And I'm going to roll it and pinch it, and roll it and pinch it and roll it so that it's in a log shape. And now is when I need more of a counter space. Now I'm going to put this on my cloth, and I'm going to bring the first piece up. I usually put something there to hold it. So I've pleated it. This is going to be difficult. Maybe I'll go that way a little bit more. Let's do one more. Get the second one. Make it into a rectangular shape. Nothing fancy. I roll it and sort of push it with my thumbs. I roll it again. I push it with my thumbs. And I'm going to make a pleat. And I'm going to put this next one there. Next one. Make my rectangle. I roll it once and push with my thumbs, roll it again until I've got a little. And I keep making little pleats in between. Last one. Into a rectangle. I roll it once and push, and roll it again and push, and I make my little pleat and I put it in there. So I have 4 baguettes sitting in my, there is a word for this, and I'm not 100% sure I know what it is. I'll find it for you. So I'm going to pull the candle away. I'm going to cover this up with the remaining cloth just to keep it covered. And we'll let that sit for 30 minutes. We have to reshape it one more time to make it longer, and then we put it into our pan. We let it rest there for another 45 minutes while we heat the oven up. So it's a bit of a process.